It's a beautiful day today and a beautiful day for some more Am I the A-hole? It's going to be a roller coaster ride of an episode as it is every single time, and I hope you guys are excited. I can't get enough Am I the A-hole. It's so fun. It kind of reminds me of like really spicy food. It's a little bit painful and scary, but it's addictive at the same time. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Am I the a-hole for telling my dad that there'll be no making up for missing my high school graduation? I, 18 male, am graduating high school at the end of this month. My dad dropped the bomb on me 2 nights ago that his stepdaughter, 14 male, has an award ceremony for some competition that she entered and won in another state on the same day, and that she really wants him to be there. He told me he couldn't possibly make it to both, and since his wife and their children together will be going, he needs to be there too. He told me he'd make it up to me and we could celebrate another time. I still live with him, not for much longer. My mum died when I was 7 and my dad got married again when I was 11 or 12. It's been a few years anyway. His stepdaughter never knew her biological dad, so my dad has accepted her as his own, and he has prioritized her a lot in the last 5 or 6 years. It doesn't always show in the most obvious ways, but it can definitely be felt. Father-son time was put on an indefinite hiatus, and instead dad told me we needed to include her in our time together, but he also spent time with just her for father and daughter time. I brought it up to my dad, and he told me that I wasn't exactly making an effort to be closer to her, so he wanted us all to bond and didn't want me to just focus on my relationship with him. He's attended her dance things instead of my basketball games if they're on at the same time. It doesn't matter if mine was known about first. He'll still skip my stuff to go to hers. He'll take us on family days, and whenever he and his wife say that kids can choose, he picks her choice over mine. He claims it's because they'll be the most fun for everybody, but really, he even says it afterward. Anything that his little princess wants. Our fridge and our shower broke at the same time. His stepdaughter's birthday was coming up, so he took money from my birthday fund to pay for that stuff, and so his stepdaughter would definitely get what she wanted, this Barbie house thing and a whole fashion set, and they were, I think dad said, $250. He didn't get all the money back by the time my birthday came around, so instead he bought me a $30 gift card for Steam when he'd promised me a new monitor and keyboard for my computer. That was a gift from my grandparents. When my dad told me that he wouldn't be at my graduation to go and support her, I told him that there's no making up for that and he can forget about being included in my life going forward. He told me that he'd make it up to me, and I told him I'll always come second to his little princess, and I'm not going to be okay with that. I told him he's discarded me for the last time. Dad begged me to be reasonable, but I walked away. Then I invited both sets of grandparents who agreed to come. His wife told me that I could have come with them and I don't need to attend the ceremony, but I could support my sister. I said her daughter isn't my sister and I do not want to support their family anymore, and I'm going to be out of their hair soon. She called me selfish and told me that I can't deny her daughter a dad. Am I the a-hole? But what, you can be denied a dad? No, you're not the a-hole, OP. That's so sad. Yeah, the stepdaughter never knew her biological dad, but you lost your mum when you were 7, OP, and now your dad is choosing your stepdaughter over you because what, the stepdaughter is the priority? There's no balance here. Yeah, like this comment says, I hope you pointed out to your father that while trying to make up for his stepdaughter having a loser father, that he has indeed become a loser to his own child. How ironic, not the a-hole. And OP responded, yeah, I also mentioned how she has 2 parents now, and I have 0 because I already lost my mum and now I lost him as well. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, of course you're not the a-hole, OP. And there's been multiple different times that your dad has put your stepdaughter ahead of you. It's not like a one-time thing or something. And also this comment, wow, what a horrible way to keep showing you that you don't matter to them. Totally not the a-hole, and congrats on the freedom that awaits you. I'm impressed by your clarity of thinking. It took me much longer to get to that level of understanding. If not done already, get your plan started or refined further. The shame that they're hiding may cause some additional grief and manipulation. You've got this though, good luck. Life is very sweet without constant disappointment. Post number 2 is called Am I the a-hole for not wanting to share a personal sized pizza with 3 other people? This is my first time posting anything and I'm on mobile, so I'm unsure if I'm doing it right. I, female 33, am gluten-free, celiac, and I have been for over half of my life. My husband, male 35, is not. We had 2 friends stopping by for dinner who are also not gluten-free. My husband suggested that we get pizza and mentioned to me that one of their friends only eats chicken as far as meat goes, so I should factor that into my order. I said, well, that doesn't really affect me since I wasn't planning on sharing, but noted. I'll see what options they have for her. My husband freaks out at me because apparently I'm being ungrateful. He asked me why I didn't want to share, and I said, the gluten-free pizzas are basically personal pizzas, and I regularly eat the whole thing when we order it. I'm supposed to offer half of mine to other people when I can't eat what they're eating. He wouldn't even hear me at all and said that if I didn't want to share, I could pay for my own pizza myself. I don't really care about paying for it myself, but the idea that I'm supposed to give away some of my dinner when I can't even eat what other people are eating is stupid to me. It's not like we're ordering every pizza gluten-free. It just doesn't make any sense. They eat my food, I can't eat their food. I can understand the principle of offering, but one gluten-free pizza from this place is only enough for one person. If we were getting multiple gluten-free ones, I'd absolutely share, but they got 2 larges for the 3 of them. He continued continued to go on about how ungrateful I was being and said some other stupid stuff before I told him to F off and I went upstairs. I ended up just going upstairs and not eating or seeing them at all. I came downstairs later and he'd ordered me a gluten-free pizza and said from across the room, "Are you ready for your gluten-free pizza? You need to have a better attitude about things that aren't yours in the future." I didn't reply or eat the pizza. I was already heating something else up and I hadn't even noticed the pizza, but I will eat it later because I'm pregnant and I'm starving all the time. For the record, this has happened before several years ago while we ordered pizza, and only one gluten-free for me, and it arrived and everybody thought that mine looked super good. I don't order regular pepperoni and tomato sauce, so the 4 other people, husband included, took over half of my pizza before I even got a bite of it. It pissed me off because I didn't even have enough food and they still had plenty, plus pieces of mine, so perhaps it is a sore subject for me. Again, I'm also pregnant, though this would still bother me if I weren't. Am I the a-hole and being ungrateful? No, and I don't really understand what you're meant to be grateful for. And like this comment says, all of this over a pizza? I can't imagine how he handles real problems. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, like this shouldn't even be an issue. But no, your husband is definitely in the wrong, OP. It's so stupid in the first place. Like if he and them are so dead set on sharing pizza, and you can only eat the gluten-free pizza, but you're also expected to share some of your pizza, that means you need to have enough gluten-free pizza to share and also eat yourself, because you can't be eating anything else, as in like they get 2 gluten-free pizzas or whatever. But that's so bloody simple and that didn't need to be an argument. It sounds like your husband loves to be in control, OP, and because he wasn't getting what he wanted, he gets upset about it. The top comment says, "Not the yay-hole, your husband is a big one though. Also thoughtless. Literally, are you ever heard?" And OP said, "Am I ever heard?" I don't know, to be honest. I'm generally super go with the flow, and he's very much the one who cares about stuff, so he 99% of the time gets what he wants. I started about a year ago voicing my own opinions more, and he told me that I was being combative. Lol. I told him that he's only used to getting his way, and that it was my fault for not setting proper boundaries for so long. We do have a good relationship most of the time though, I promise. Oh, that sounds so exhausting though. Like if this is what's gonna happen over a bloody pizza, what about when you have your child and stuff and there are actual issues? And that's so frustrating too, like the sort of people that are like, "Oh, I need to tell you that you're being ungrateful." Like absolutely no understanding, no care really, and has the audacity to say that you're being combative because you have opinions and they sometimes go against exactly what he wants. Oh, that's so annoying. The next one is called, "Am I the a-hole for evicting my brother and his family from the house that I've inherited so that my daughter can live there?" I, 40 female, have a daughter, Caroline, 17 female. My brother Adam, 34 male, is married and has 2 kids under the age of 5. Back when I was in my 20s, our great-grandmother ended up with an illness which required somebody to take care of her. This ended up being me, as everybody else were busy with their lives and I'd only recently graduated from uni back then. Due to this, when she passed away, I've inherited the house that she lived in. It's a small 2-bedroom. I have lived there until I got married and me and my husband ended up moving to a bigger property. About a year after, my brother asked if I'm willing to rent it out to him, which I agreed to do, but I've warned him that I'll need it back when Caroline turns 18. She was 3 at the time. Because it is super close to universities and the city centre, a legal agreement was drafted for the rent, significantly below market value, so everything was followed by the book. About a year ago, I've informed my brother about needing the house back as my daughter is going to be 18, and I would like to have some repairs done before she moved in. My brother ignored me, so I've issued him a notice to vacate, which was also ignored. As he continued to ignore me, I had no choice but to apply for a court order to evict him, with the hearing taking place last month. Last week, him and his family were officially evicted, and upon getting into the house, I've noticed it was in horrible condition, and it would take a few months just to make it somewhat habitable, let alone redecorating or repairs. I have raised this with my brother since he was meant to look after the house, and let me know if any repairs, but this talk ended up in an argument where I was called an a-hole for evicting him and his family so my spoilt daughter can live by herself and not giving them enough notice. They had just over a year to find something suitable. He also said that I've inherited the house by cheating. My parents are on his side since Adam and his family live with them. Oh my god, no, you're not the a-hole, OP. It even said that the rent you were charging them was well below what it should have been, or like what it could have been, and they lived there for what, like around 15 years, and the entire time they knew that you wanted the house back when your daughter turned 18, and they had all of that time to figure that out. No, you're not the a-hole, OP. Yeah, like this comment says, so Adam has known that he had to move since your daughter was 3, and now she's 17, so that's a math issue, and math tells us that Adam has known for 14 years that he'd have to move out of your house. In what Looney Tunes world is that not enough notice? Curious, was Adam just lazy and let the house fall into disrepair? Or did he trash it intentionally because you evicted him? Yeah, that's a good point. Was it always so bad? Or was he just upset that he was getting evicted, so he ruined the place? Either way, you're not the a-hole, OP. You had a 14-year agreement. They're acting like it's a surprise. And also the audacity to leave the place in such a mess. You let them rent there for under market value for 14 years? Like, where's the gratitude? He lived there for roughly 14 or 15 years paying substantially below market rent prices, which could have allowed him to save up a pretty considerable sum to put towards a home of his own, and he clearly chose not to, as he had to move in with your parents. His life choices are not your problem. Regarding the state of the home, did you not visit him over the years and notice the deterioration? Or is there revenge damage caused shortly before they moved? And OP said, a bit of both really, and also cleverly placed furniture so it wasn't even noticeable up until now. Oh yeah, you're for sure not the a-hole, OP. Like what, bro? 15 years of notice wasn't enough? Come on. The next one is called, am I the a-hole for laughing at my wife's comment? This morning I walked into my room to find my wife sitting on her bed looking stressed. I was on my way to do my hour commute to work. She's a stay-at-home mum. Seeing her distress, I walked over, rubbed her back and asked her what was wrong. She said that she was trying to relax before her very full day. I asked her what she was doing today. She said, I don't know. This made me laugh. This comment genuinely struck my funny bone. I was immutably chastised for laughing and accused of not being caring. Am I the a-hole for having a genuine reaction to something that my wife said that I thought was funny? Yeah, like this comment says, comedically it's definitely funny, but clearly your wife does feel overwhelmed by her day, whether she knows what's in store for her or not. It seems like something you should definitely talk about, because I don't see the part of the story when you have a discussion about why getting out of bed feels stressful for her. Not the a-hole for laughing, but your job here isn't done. Yeah, definitely. You weren't laughing at her. It was a little funny thing that caught you off guard. But yeah, like that comment says, as long as you did actually have a discussion after that, and you were caring and you were understanding. Yeah, I like this comment. Usurpation of expectations is a root of comedy. This would probably make me chuckle too, but I'd also probably shut myself up and talk to her about what I could do to make her feel less overwhelmed. You're not laughing at her emotional state. That would be a-hole-ish. I'm going with not the a-hole, but you need to have an open and deep conversation on how you can help support her more. Too little information here to make any assumptions other than she clearly is overwhelmed. Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. And also, it definitely could be a little bit you the a-hole. Like, I don't know why they said that their drive to work was an hour, and I don't know why they mentioned that their wife was a stay-at-home mum. And also, if you were caring and you were understanding after something like this, why would you need to go to Reddit? Like, it would have been fine. Like, as long as you are being supportive, OP. Because yeah, your wife does sound really overwhelmed and definitely needs your support. It is super hard to judge some of these. There's not a lot of information here. There is a comment here that said, what is really going on here? That your wife is so stressed out that she can't even answer the simple question of what's going to happen in the day. Think about that for a moment. If you were stressed and overwhelmed to the point where you couldn't even answer a simple question about what it is you're overwhelmed about, how would you feel if somebody laughed at you? You can try and explain that you weren't laughing at her, but rather the existential and logical phrasing of words. But she did share with you her struggle and you laughed. You the a-hole? Yeah, I can definitely see that point of view too. But also, I feel like if OP was caring and had a conversation about this afterwards, showing that they do care about their wife, I don't feel like that little laugh would mean that they're an a-hole. They'd be an a-hole if they didn't show that they cared at all. Yeah, like this other comment says, at face value, it is definitely funny, but I'm going to give you a soft you the a-hole, simply because you mention your commute time in the same sentence as informing us that she's a stay-at-home mum, which seems a little bit like saying, while I work, she just stays at home, and since she is a stay-at-home mum, she likely doesn't know what her day will hold, but it is likely going to be stressful because kids are stressful. Not saying it was your intention to come across that way, but it doesn't seem like you're really giving her the credit that she deserves, or acknowledging that her days can be stressful. Yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, it probably was funny, but your wife is definitely overwhelmed, and it does kind of sound like you're not really giving that the respect that it deserves, like the fact that she is stressed out. I don't think you're the a-hole for laughing at the comment, but there's definitely a lot more to this. The next one is called, am I the a-hole for refusing to make my niece a doll like my sisters? I, 26 female, have no kids, but my oldest brother has 2 daughters. Oldest is now 7, younger one just turned 5. I love both of them a lot, but I'm not blind. As somebody who did grow up with siblings, it is very clear that the oldest daughter, ON, is the golden child. She gets whatever she wants, no matter how expensive, and is always showered with praise for her pageants and singing. My younger niece, YN, is very shy, but she's still very sweet and enjoys stuff like reading and animals. Recently, my younger niece has been feeling bad about herself. I asked why, and she told me it was because she didn't like her hair color. She has auburn curls. She was sad because everybody always said how pretty older niece's hair was, which was a very light blonde and straight. It got so bad that she'd apparently tried to cut it off, which her mum had just laughed off as a childhood mishap. When I was over at my brother's house, I noticed that the two were playing with dolls. Older niece had a very nice Barbie doll, while younger niece had what looked like a short, cheap Walmart knockoff. I asked them why, and mum said it was because she couldn't find a doll with red hair. This made me upset because number one, the doll's hair is bright red, which is not her hair color, and two, it was extremely different quality. I said nothing, but when it was younger niece's birthday, I acted. For months I researched doll making and restoring. I took a Barbie and I replaced her hair with some that matched hers, and I painted the eyes. I then hand sewed several custom outfits and gave each a blue whale theme, her favorite animal. As a cosplayer, this wasn't that hard. On her birthday, younger niece was ecstatic, but her sister was obviously not. I didn't pay attention to her, instead focusing on making sure younger niece liked her gifts, but only a few days after her parents called me, telling me that I needed to make older niece a doll as well. I said that I'd get her one on her next birthday. They said no, she needed it immediately because she'd been upset that her sister's doll was customized unlike her store-bought ones and was mad that younger niece wouldn't share. I told them again that it was a project and I'd make her one next year. They both accused me of not caring about older niece's feelings. I got mad saying that neither of them cared about being fair when younger niece was playing with a troll doll that was supposed to look like her. This was a gift meant to make younger niece feel special, and I wasn't going to cheapen it because older niece was pouting. I hung up, but I started to wonder, am I the yay-hole? No, definitely not, OP. You did something super nice and now you're getting in trouble for it because you're not going to immediately make one for the older niece, and it's not the older niece's birthday. Yeah, like the top comment said, not the yay-hole. More kids should have aunts like you. It warmed my heart as a now adult who often was overlooked in childhood when it came to my perfect blonde cousin to see you notice this and act. You made younger niece feel special and she deserves to feel it. It's not like you'll never do anything like that for older niece, but time and place. Older niece needs to learn that life does not turn on her axis just when she wants something. Older niece could use a lesson in not being the center of attention. Anyway, you're a beautiful person. Yeah, definitely. And you're doing the right thing by not enabling the parents, OP. Okay, that was so fun, but I feel like we should read something wholesome. So I work at Taco Bell. Today I was having a really rough day, and then this guy pulls up. Thank you, random citizen, for making my day much better. Wow, that's so funny. Randomly driving around with a watermelon as a hat. That's so cute. And yeah, that would definitely make your day better. Real men don't cry. Real men? Yeah, that's so true. Like, bro, have you not seen Lord of the Rings? Try and tell me that they're not real men. Real men absolutely do cry. There's a lot you can learn from Lord of the Rings. Elders before having cats. If you bring home a cat, I'm gonna throw it out the next day. Elders after having cats. Who is Grampy's favorite sweetheart? Yes, you are. Yeah, that's also so true. Oh my god, I love this little fluffy angel. A good day night? That's right. Anybody whose name you write in this notebook will have a fantastic day. A very evil smile. Wait a second. A lot of people are about to have a wonderful day. That's so beautiful and a beautiful place to end today's episode. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you had a wonderful time. And if you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you let me know down below. And also make sure you like and subscribe. The comment of the day today goes to Bonnie. It's so nice that after I go through the 5 stages of grief after being forced to wake up in the morning, the first thing I hear is, Vincey, you are far too kind. Like, oh my god, I've been woken up. That's a super relatable comment. And yeah, I'm so happy that you enjoy listening to me. I appreciate the support. And yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you had a good time today. And I'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!